Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Metro. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
And who we got as a special music?
Woohoo!
Mindy, welcome. We're going to get started by praying in. So if you would, close your eyes and join us in that holy, sacred place where we meet as one, recognizing the power and the presence of God as being everywhere, through and as everything and everyone, the living essence of good and love and peace and harmony and joy, freedom, power, clarity, guidance. All these things God is. And I know that God is so much more. The one life, the only life. That life is my life. That life that is Reverend Valerie's. That life that is Mindy's, Greg and Sheila, and all the people watching in. The one life.
One life.
And so I declare this day as a day of awakening, that each individual watching receives exactly what they need to receive and is inspired to go through this next week alive, awake, and aware, ready to contribute the good that you are. So I bless this service. I bless every aspect of it, naming it good and very good, knowing that everything unfolds in its perfection. And in the deep sense of gratitude, I now release, let go, and allow it to be, and allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is.
Woohoo.
All right. You ready for announcements?
No, Mindy.
Yeah, sorry, Mindy.
Not my turn.
Mindy Sterling. We've had an interesting day getting ready for this.
Yeah,
so
we're a little scattered.
It's your turn, Mindy.
Yeah.
I love it when it's my turn. All right. And then it can be. You know, right now things can be a little topsy-turvy as we've experienced today. And going with the flow is really important. So I took one of my favorite songs that's rather uplifting and finessed the words a little bit.
Okay.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. Find beauty in everything you see. It will set you free. When I was young, I fell in love. I asked my sweetheart, what lies ahead? Will there be rainbows day after day? Here's what my sweetheart said. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. If you dwell in possibility, it will set you free. And I had children of my own. They asked their mother, what lies ahead? Will there be rainbows day after day? Here's what I say. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. If you keep all the good thoughts, you'll see it'll set you free. Dwell in possibilities. See beauty in everything you see. It will set you free.
Yay!
That was so beautiful.
Thank you. Great rewrite, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need a message. You gave it. But we're going to do it anyway.
Yes, we are.
So we'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks, Mindy.
You're welcome.
Okay, now I'll do the announcements. You can like us and check in on Facebook. And then on CSL North Metro, you can check out our website. And You can get prayer requests there. There's a calendar on the back that has all of the things that we do, but also the links. So it has the Zoom links, it has the Facebook links, it has the YouTube links. So everything that you would need. You can also email us at info@cslnorthmetro.org and we'll take care of that. So some of the things that we do, we have a Science of Mind magazine discussion group on Fridays at 1, except for the last Friday, and then we have a spiritual movie and discussion at 6:30, and all of that information's on the website, so check it out. And today's title is Hold That Thought. You've already met our guest artist, and I'll be doing affirmations are next, sorry.
Sheila Fossen will
And
be doing.
Sheila Fossen will be doing them today. Hi, Sheila.
We don't hear you.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Now you're on track.
Affirmations for the week of June 28th, 2020. I am exactly where I need to be.
And I choose love.
My strength comes from compassion and connection. I let go of any beliefs that do not serve me. I am fully empowered and supported by Spirit. Every breath I take, I experience the miracle of my life. I embrace positive thinking, words, and actions in every moment.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you, Sheila.
You're welcome.
Okay, and today's reading is from Acts of Faith, Daily Meditations for People of Color by Iyanla Vanzant, who's one of my favoriteest people. So the last time we saw her live, she walks up the aisle. We're all sitting there waiting for her, and she's got these gorgeous, really, really high heels on, and she walks up to the stage, and she steps out of them, and then she just sits in there, and she's like, now you've seen my shoes, I'm going to talk.
That's her.
It was so fun. Okay. We often say we want many things while deep inside we doubt it will come to us. The universe does not give us what we say we want. It gives us what we expect to get. You cannot fool Mother Nature. She gives birth to your deepest thoughts, and the principle is everything happens twice. First on the inside, then on the outside. Mm-hmm. We must literally create the energy of what we want within ourselves before we can have it in the physical world. How does it feel to be wealthy, in love, in perfect health, totally free to do anything we choose? We must let the feeling well up inside and live as though the very thing we want is the thing we have.
Yes.
We must feel ourselves being and enjoying the very best life has to offer. We must think about it, talk about it, and expect it every moment. We must impregnate our total being with the expectation of what we want. As the feeling grows, the day will come where we give birth to exactly what we want. And so it is.
So it is. I like that line, impregnate our very being. That's awesome.
Yeah, we so often think that if we have this positive thought, then that's it. But no.
No. Got to do the work.
Got to do the work.
Okay, let's hear another song from the wonderful, the magnificent Mindy Sterling.
All right, this is an original song.
All right.
Right now, since we've had this lockdown, and then partially free, I don't know, but what we've experienced a lot is a little bit of isolation. And sometimes that can bring some demons with it that we have to ignore. And this is a song about staying in the light. I'm making excuses again, trying my best to turn loneliness into a friend I can always embrace. Still gonna miss someone wiping the tears from my face to face. With this child inside me, no one's taken her place. Little one loves the sun and says, follow the light. Wherever you are, 'cause it's the only way to see where you are. Wherever you go, no matter how far. I'm trying to live from the heart. It's the place that I always come back to. I might as well start there and save me some pain. But someone so smart should get my head handed back to me just the same. Nice to know that the answers are still as plain. Trade the pain for the laughter and follow the light. Wherever you are, 'cause it's the only way to see where you are. Wherever you go, no matter how far. Far from the stars in the sky, or the light inside each other's eyes. All you need is to look with your heart. Follow the light. Follow the light. Follow the light. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
So beautiful. Thank you
Wow.
so much.
Talking about wonderful writing.
Thank you.
That's so beautiful.
And we're ready to follow our light.
Yes.
So we'll see you in a few moments. Maybe a little more than a few moments. We got something to say. So thank you. Here we are again.
Here we are.
We made it.
Yay.
Welcome. There's a pioneer of new thought by the name of Prentice Mumford, and he wrote a book called Thoughts Are Things. And when you think about it, all things start from a very thought. The thought of a bridge being built, the thought of a new kind of way to serve people. Thoughts has created everything that's on this planet and so much more. And I know that for me, my thoughts are holy, sacred, and divine. Even when I'm having thoughts that don't serve me in the highest, best good, they're still divine because it's all part of creation. Without thought, we wouldn't know what a tree is. Without thought, we wouldn't feel love. Without thought, we wouldn't understand what it is to be in this world. We wouldn't know who we are without thought. Thought is the foundation of what we can become. Thought is the architect of what we create. Thought is the creation itself. It's constantly moving through our experiences and everything that we look at and everything we see and everything we feel. It all begins with thought. And when I think about thought being the thing itself, I think, what is it that I can create through my thought? What am I holding back? What am I not doing? What am I not allowing myself to unfold and expand into my greater yet to be? Well, it starts with my thought, all thoughts. And what I know is that we have to treat thoughts as if they're holy and sacred. And there's 3 types of thoughts that I want to share today. First, there's the thought that comes directly from God, that inner voice talking to us. That is a thought because we understand it, and we understand it in our mind. And the second is the thought that we create the thought that we create to support that thought that came directly to us. we must embrace the divine, that sacred thing that has come to us by using our thought to not let other thoughts sneak in and stop the divine from unfolding and becoming creation. The last thought is the thought of imagination. We can imagine. We have that ability. So through our thought, we create and imagine whatever it is that the inner voice gave us, whatever it is that profound idea that has come through us. We start imagining it. We start understanding what it feels like to possess it or to be it. We start creating a scenario of how it happens. And now it may not necessarily happen that way, but through our imagination, we're empowering our belief for it to happen in a way that is profound and is ready to move through us and for us to experience. I would like to encourage you that when a thought comes to you from that inner voice, from that divine place within you, to treat it as like a golden nugget, something that is priceless, and to see that thought as these nuggets and putting them into a treasure chest and burying that treasure chest deep into your subconscious, because our subconscious is what creates our experiences. Everything that's gone to our subconscious, we create from our experiences. So if I accepted in my subconscious when I was young that I'm not very bright, then I will experience that. I will experience that I'm not bright. So the subconscious is a sacred place that we use our conscious mind to create whatever it is that we want to be, whatever it is that we want to create. The last thing, well, not the last thing, but another thing that I want to share is there's a saying that we're all familiar with, and that is where two or three are gathered together in the name, I'm in the midst of them. So when we have these thoughts and they're sacred, and we're developing the thought and allowing it to grow and expand within our being, within our very existence, then it's good to have somebody else or maybe two other people to share, not just throw them out there for everybody to see, because that's like scattering the seeds on the wind, but to have somebody who is sacred, or somebodies who are sacred, that will hold that thought for you too, that will put it in their consciousness and use that power of two or three being gathered in God's name. I remember when I was in prac training, right before I was in prac training, I went to a place in Arizona, Sedona, and I had this vision. Well, I met a Native American woman who took me on a vision quest, and I had this wonderful journey and saw this clarity. And then when it was done, I caught this. When I went back home, I caught this vision that I'm to write a book. And the first thing that jumped into my mind is like, how can you write a book? You don't even know how to write a book. And immediately I let go of that, because I was ready to study in practitioner training. And I knew, and I'd gone through all the classes, I knew I had to empower the thought of writing a book. So I made that sacred. I used my prayer work. I used my thoughts to empower the idea. And then I had to start moving my feet.
Yes.
Because as Ernest Holmes says, God is not going to make the cookie except by means of you, which is a profound, simple way of putting that. You just don't sit there and let the thought mildew inside you. You allow yourself to take the steps to do it. So I started writing, and the writing became something so sacred, because not only was I writing, and not only was it flowing through me, but I was answering something that had been given to me like a golden nugget, like a gift that I can to this day not tell you how profound it was. So God's not going to make the cookie, but God's going to give you the recipe, and you need to follow that recipe. Follow your heart. Follow the thought. Everything started with a thought. I remember when I was young, I read this book. It was stories about men who had been in prison during the war. And there was this one gentleman who was in a cell, and he started, in his mind, he was an architect before he went to war. So he started making the plans for this amazing building that he's going to build. And he had it all in his mind. Through his thought, he built this magnificent building. And later on in life, he actually built it in real life. So, but it was his thoughts that created the foundation, the very, very essence of this building. And there's so much more that thought can do. There's so much more that we're capable of doing. Mm-hmm. There's so much more that all we have to do is put our mind to it.
Mm-hmm. And believe.
And believe.
Hold it.
And hold it. That's what we're called to do. Mm-hmm. That's what we are here for. We're not here to just sit around and do nothing. We're here to create. And it all starts with a single thought. I think I am divine, therefore I am. I think you are divine, therefore you are. I think the thought of good, and I allow that good to penetrate every area of my life. And as I know this for myself, I know it for every person who is tuned in today.
Yes.
That right where you are a thought machine, and you are in control of your thoughts. No matter what's going on around you, no matter how much you're caught up in what's in the news, no matter whatever, it all starts with your thought. Think, what can you be? What's calling you? What is your necessity to do? I think it's all within you. And I think those thoughts are here and now. Valerie?
Yes. So last Friday night, our spiritual movie was Journey of the Universe. Mm-hmm. And the most spectacular part of that movie for me is that the universe started 14 billion years ago. And they were talking about, the person that was talking said they talk about it being an explosion, but he said it seems to me like it was more of a flame. So it was a spark, and then it just started shooting outward. And everything that evolved, like the entire universe was expanding. And so we're going to just scale down to our galaxy and how the planets were formed in our galaxy, and how some of them were too gaseous to have life and some of them were too rocky to have life. And here's this perfect little ball of Earth that within itself created the oxygen and the things that needed for life to create. Now, obviously, it took billions of years. It didn't just happen overnight. However, the experience that I had while I was hearing that and watching that was, wow. Every single one of us is one with that energy, with that intelligence, with that amazing energy of creation.
Yeah.
And that we also are creating. So we're creating on the microcosm, not on the macrocosm. But however, we're creating in our own lives and in our own experiences. And so we're always creating. And then we also read the Science of Mind magazine on Fridays. And so I was just poking through it, and I hadn't read the article from the Science of Mind archives yet. And it was an article about creative thought, which David Alexander, Reverend Dr. David Alexander, wrote a thing about that afterwards. And what he had to say was that Ernest Holmes wrote that book in 1918. When did, what's his name? Prentice Mumford?
Yeah, it was like in the
1918. Pretty
No,
sure.
no, it was he died in 1864, so it was,
Oh, but before that?
yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so what was happening when that book was coming out? Well, they were in the midst of the 1918 flu pandemic, and World War I officially ended in November of 1918. So I was just struck by how much like that was 100 years ago, and how much like what we're experiencing now is to that when Ernest wrote Creative Mind. And so I just, he was talking about how all things come from thought, which is what we're talking about today. And then it starts as a small little concept, which is exactly what you said. You got that idea, you got that divine idea, and then you allow it to grow. And so it expands and expands. And if we take advantage of that divine idea and allow it to grow, and then bake the cookies or move our feet or however we want to talk about that, and do the things that we need to do to push it forward, then we can create that idea, just like we did with our center. Started out as a little idea while we were still in Fresno, but that seed was there, and I knew the things I had to do, and I was already doing them. And then we had some roadblocks when we got to Colorado, and so things got delayed a little bit. But that little divine idea and that thought and that idea that one day we'd be this spiritual center right here in Thornton, that was exactly where I had it planned. So anyway, those things do happen. So growth is the law of life. And it's necessary for us to just keep growing and keep expanding and keep being more of who we came here to be. And we have the physical part of us, and we have the spiritual part of us. And sometimes the physical part of us can hold us back, because we can have those thoughts like, I'm not enough, or I can't do that, or I could never do that. And think about if you had let that happen to you in your book, or if we had let that happen to us with the spiritual center, or all of the many, many things that we all do in our lives where we create and where we're expansive and where we allow things to be. And so in creative thought, Ernest said, do a new thing. Think a new thought. You think that new thought, the power of attraction will start to work in your life, and the possibility, circumstances of possibility will start being attracted to you, and the possibility of fulfilling that desire because of that original thought, and because of holding that belief that it's happening, and because of keeping positive thoughts and moving our feet and doing the things we're told that we hear that are ours to do, we actually bring that circumstance to us. Do you have something to say about that?
Well, when you get that thought and new thoughts, well, old thoughts start debating with it, they're as powerful as the thought that you want to create, the thought that has come through you that you want to make part of your life. So it's good to hold the thought that initially comes to you, because all those other thoughts are just old things from your subconscious trying to hold on to their place in life. They're like, I don't know, like somebody that's hoarding something because they don't want to share it. We don't hoard our thoughts. We embrace them. We allow them to unfold and expand in our experience. So hold the initial thought. Don't let it go. And you hold it by repeating it, by writing it down, by praying on it, by affirming it, by imagining it, how it's unfolding. Mm-hmm. And every time you have a contrary thought, just say, get thee behind me. Mm-hmm. You have no power over me. Mm-hmm. I am the creator. I create what I desire. I have that power. I have the power to hold on to the thoughts I want to hold on to. And each one of us has that same power.
Yes.
There's no difference between you and I. We're all creators. We're all made in the likeness and image of God. Yes. We're all perfect. We're all whole. We're all complete. Don't let those words just be words. Experience them, embrace them. Let them be the vast part of who and what you are, your life, your perfection, your purpose for being here. It's all wrapped up in our thoughts. And we can begin this day by creating the thought we want in our lives. You got something?
I do. I was going to do this later, but it seems like it's now. So this is from Creative Thought. And I know those of you who have been in class with me have heard me say this before, but while I was going through this book this week, I found it. When 51% of your thinking is health and life and power, that day 51% will swallow up, erase, kill out the rest. The day you as an individual, through 51% of your thought, pass beyond the perception of limitation, you will draw out of the universe everything you desire. Poverty will desert you and you will be emancipated forever. The day you think 51% of happiness, misery shall depart and never return. Is it not worth your time and effort? And should it not be the greatest purpose of the life of any awakened soul to depict this principle as to emancipate ourselves?
So that's not really asking very much of you.
51%.
I mean, think about it. If you can manage 51%, maybe that will multiply into 52%, maybe 60%. And we're talking about the embracing of the thought that you want to create, not the thoughts that randomly go through your head and challenge you. Because the ego is a good thing, but it can be a thing that impairs your progress because it wants to hold on to what it knows and it doesn't want to let it go because it's afraid of change. So everything is in your hands. You have the ability to embrace the thought that you want to be realized in your life. You are the change you want to see. So start with something small. I always thought, well, if I can change something small in my life, like if I start shaving on this side, try to start shaving on this side. Just break little habits first and see them as your thoughts. See them as, well, if I can stop shaving on this side and move to this side and it becomes a habit, well, I can do the same thing with my thought. I can use my thought to change old beliefs into new beliefs just by taking those golden nuggets that you create and burying them in your subconscious, deep into your subconscious, so it washes away everything that is not you, that is not serving you, into the nothingness from which it came.
And remember, when you have that thought of that thing you want to create, if you allow those doubts and all that stuff that comes up to surface in your mind and stay there, you just negated that thing that you want. So it's really important to continue having the positive thoughts so that you can get to that 51%. That's not really a lot when you think about it. If each of us were thinking just 51% about what we want, we'd all have what we want, according to Ernest Holmes. So I just wonder, where are we? Are we as individuals, as a culture, as a nation, as a planet? Where are we on that scope? And probably it's every place from 0 or negative to 50%. And there are a few people that are manifesting what they want, but a lot of us have hopes and dreams, not only for ourselves, but for this nation and for our planet. And so one of the ways to start moving in that direction is live in the eternal now. Don't be thinking about, oh, yesterday was da 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 da, or tomorrow I'll do. No. What you have, what we all have, what every person has is right now. And then we have the next right now and the next right now. And every day is the day of spirit. Tomorrow is spirit's to do. Yesterday is past. Every day, every moment Just live that moment. So tomorrow, the divine will take care of tomorrow. And Ernest talks about seeing the good in all things. Sometimes, especially in the time that we're in. And remember, he wrote this book in a time just like this.
Mhm.
That we sometimes resist. We spend our time concentrating on the thing that we don't want. And it especially happens to me when I spend too much time watching the news, because I can get hooked into criticizing and blame and thinking about what I don't want more of instead of what I do. And the challenge is, let's all put that divine energy, let's all put that thought part of ourselves, that spirit part of our thought to work in creating a world that works for everyone, and creating a world that is what we know it can be. And one of the other things that's really interesting is changes are happening quickly. And the universe is speeding up. And so things are happening and things are changing. And so we have to just continue to focus on that which we want and that which is ours to do, and do that thing that's ours to do. And one of the things Ernest said that I had some troubles with yesterday, so we're going to have a little dialogue about this. People are doing the best that they can. When they know better, they will do better. And sometimes when I'm watching the news, I can't even believe that people are doing the best that they can. And so we had this conversation yesterday about, well, wait a minute. Don't we all know what's fair and what's honest and what's truthful?
Yeah, but we cover it up with our fear, and we cover it up with our insecurities. And so we may know subconsciously, but consciously, we're just looking at all that's before us and what the ego needs, like politicians that think they need power and they need to have things their own way in order for things to be okay. That's just an insecurity. Deep down somewhere, they do know what's fair, what's good. But all the things that have happened in their life covers that up, and they just see it in a different way.
So they're living in the physical and not the spiritual.
Right.
And so, okay. So it'd be really nice to be able to ask you if you have any questions about that now. Obviously, we can't.
Well, you can join us afterwards.
Right. So as we begin to align ourselves with spirit, to be that spiritual being that we came here to be, then we begin to lift our awareness into those higher places, into that higher self. So in other words, we know better and we do better, and we can do more and we can be greater. And it's a little bit unfortunate when you watch the news, what you see is all the bad things that are happening, because there are so many amazing things happening. There are so many people. I saw a lady on Facebook the other day. I cannot remember how much lasagna she has made. She used her entire paycheck to make lasagna for people that didn't have food, and that went over so well. She's doing that full time now. I don't think she's even charging for it. I don't know how she's doing it. Probably people are donating so she can keep doing it. But that one little thing, I can make lasagna. I can feed people that don't have something to eat right now. That's amazing. And there are a lot of people doing that thing. There are little kids raising money.
Yeah, it just reminded me, we saw that movie about the woman who was raised in absolute poverty, and her father was a drunk, her mother died, and she had to live on the streets, and she went through hell and back, and she lost her brothers and sisters to foster care. And when she grew older, she decided, she had this vision, a thought through vision, God's thought in her mind, to go to Vietnam and to help save children that were living on the streets. And this woman, nothing could stop her, because her thought was straight and narrow. She knew what she had to do. She knew it was done, and she went about the process of fulfilling that vision that she had. She didn't know why she caught the vision, but she knew she had to do it. I knew why she caught it by watching her story, is because of what she went through in her childhood. So there's something that turned her life around. All the misery and horrible experiences she had to grow into by experiencing that giving of herself just through her thought. And she did build a sanctuary for children.
10 of them.
Well, 100 of them, but she started with that one.
And 700,000 kids she made a difference to. 700,000, just starting with that one idea.
That one thought, that one possibility. So maybe we should end by thinking, I think, therefore I am.
We can do that. And I just want to invite us all to hold that thought that the United States is that thing we've always said it is. Mm-hmm. That some of us have had the experience of thinking that was true and then finding out, oh, only a few of us were having that experience. And now we're broadening on our horizons and understanding that we have to make this country and eventually this world a place that works for everyone. And that means everyone is treated equally, and everyone has a place to live, and everyone has enough to eat, and everyone experiences love. And we can do that.
Yes, we can.
We can do that. Okay, what were you going to do?
I think, therefore I am.
Okay.
Why don't you do the benediction? Or
We're overdone.
Oh, we're not done?
No, we're good.
You're good?
Yeah, we're good. I just thought you had a thing you were going to do with I think, therefore I am, not just a thought. Moving forward. All right. So let's just take this moment to take a deep breath. To just take in the things that were meaningful that were said today, the little ahas that you got, the things you might agree with, the things you might disagree with, and just kind of put them all in there. And as we're breathing in and breathing out, just breathe in that love. Breathe out any worries or cares or fear. And understand that the one divine mind is thinking our thoughts, is breathing our breath, is beating our heart, is experiencing life in, as, and through each one of us. And just as I am one with that indivisible intelligence, that infinite intelligence, each one of us is one with that intelligence, one with each other and one with all that is, one with this planet, but also one with our solar system and one with the galaxy and farther, farther, farther. We're one with all of that. There truly is no separation. And so breathing that in and just understanding that, the power of that, the amazing grandness of that we are infinite, that we are eternal, that we are living in this body to have these experiences, to grow ourselves and our eternal being. Mm. And so as I just breathe that in, I recognize that there is good and love and peace and truth and harmony and abundance. And as we just take that in, we give that out, and we just become that change we want to see. We become greater than we think we can be. We become that which we came here to be. We just get that divine spark of who we came here to be, and we are able to expand ourselves into more than we even think at this moment we can be, because we are more than that. And so I just so gratefully pass this word to Reverend Michael.
And so I know that each and every person that has been part of this streaming broadcast, that right where you are, the infinite and eternal life of God is, and that there are golden nuggets waiting for you to think them into fruition, that everything that is within your subconscious creating things you do not want in your life anymore is now null and void.
Yes.
I know by the power of this word that it's sent back into the nothingness from which it's come, and you're imbued with the perfection of thought.
Yes.
And your thoughts are things.
Yes.
And they continue to create wondrous experiences in your life.
Yes.
And those experiences spread out across the planet and touch every other life that exists on this plane of good.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that everybody that is listening in and watching this broadcast received exactly what they need to receive and will continue to catch those gems of goodness as you move through this week. And so I'm eternally grateful. So very grateful for this time we've shared together. So very grateful for the means by which we can do it. So very grateful for all those that were part of this service, Greg and Sheila and Mindy. So very grateful for life itself, but more than words can say ever. I'm grateful to know that these words I've spoken are complete and fulfilling themselves in all our experiences. So with that in mind, with a grateful heart, I release this word into the love, into the law, and I allow it to be. And together we say,
and so it is. Ashe and amen.
Hey, hey.
Woohoo. Okay.
Mindy.
That's me.
That's
That'd
you.
be you.
Well, I was emailing with Reverend Michael to find out what our message was. And so I came up with this song yesterday because what came into my mind was the phrase, try to start each day with love in mind.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I think that's what this is about.
I think that's it.
And disciplining myself to know when I have a thought, which one's which, you know? And
Yes.
it's in love, it's probably that golden nugget you're talking about.
That's right.
Yeah. So here goes. The gift is in the giving. The love is in the living. Learning and forgiving. And so it goes. The happiness hereafter. It's not in the hereafter. But deep inside the laughter. Don't you know? Just try to start each day with love in mind. 'Cause every tenderness you show will come back to you in kind. When life gets the best of you and takes off with the rest of you, you'll be blessed if you keep love in mind. There's a grand illusion. It's causing much confusion. It says everything that's worth a gain must come with pain. But there's a higher knowing will show you where you're going. And it's easy and it's flowing and without refrain. So try to start each day with love in mind. Everything from yesterday you can leave behind. When life gets the best of you and takes off with the rest of you, you'll be blessed if you keep love in mind. True.
Yeah.
That was so beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
That is the primary thought, love.
Yes.
And everything spreads from there.
Yes.
Beautiful song. Thank you.
Sure.
We got one more in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take care of some business.
Okay.
Didn't it?
That was our conscious gifting time. So, this is the check that we got this week, and we also get money from our website. So you can go to cslnorthmetro.org, and there are a couple ways to give there. You can also text to give if you're a person who likes to do that. And I think the number's going to be up there, so you can get it. 888-364-GIVE. And it's really easy because I did it. I did all those things, and they're all just really easy. So it's easy to give. There's also Venmo. It's Venmo at CSL North Metro, or there's a QR code you can use. So
QR code.
You know, that little thing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you just put your phone right up on there, and they'll take you right to.
How easy is that?
It's pretty easy. I've done that too.
So we thank all those that are supporting us in such a glorious way. We invite those that are feeling the call to give, to go ahead and give, because it's going to a cause of keeping this wonderful community thriving and alive.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you so much.
And thank you for everyone who is giving, who's giving online, who's giving through PayPal, who's giving through texting, who's giving through Venmo. Some people are giving through Facebook, and that's actually what this check is somebody that gave through Facebook, and so then we got to check for that. So
we're good.
Yeah, thank you for all of it. Thank you so much.
So we'll just, we're going to bless it, right?
We're going to bless it.
So we imagine your invisible gifts as you're giving through the other means in this basket, and just shine your light at these gifts and say, thank you, God.
Thank you, God.
We send these gifts out freely.
We send these gifts out freely.
With much love.
Much love.
Knowing that they embrace many,
knowing they embrace many people.
They uplift many people.
They uplift many people.
They change the lives of many people.
They
change the lives of many people.
And multiply infinitely.
And
multiply infinitely.
And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you so much.
Mindy, yay! One more song.
Yeah.
Are you there, Mindy?
We lost Mindy. We lost the broadcast from Mindy.
Here she is.
Here she is.
Yay.
We had to reboot that for a second. So I have a big surprise for you guys.
Woo!
I know. And you haven't met my husband yet, who does exactly what I do, but in this case better. And his name is Johnny, and he's got this great song called Accentuate the Positive.
All right. Hey, Johnny.
So introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Johnny. I'm honored Mindy asked me to do this. It's a great song, and thoughts are things, and the power of positive thinking. Definitely have experienced it in my life a lot. So this is one of my favorite songs that talks about that.
All right.
You got to accentuate the positive and eliminate all the negative. Latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, you got to spread joy up to the maximum and bring balloon down to that minimum. Have faith, or pandemonium is liable to walk upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark, it's like a Jonah in the whale or Noah in the ark. What did they do when life looks so dark? Well, then they say you got to accentuate the positive and eliminate all the negative. Latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, I said, don't mess with Mr. In Between. No. Don't you mess with Mr. In Between. Don't you mess with Mr. In Between. Don't you mess with Mr. In Between.
Family.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Thank you, Johnny.
We love you.
Make sure you tell everybody how they can get a hold of you and buy your music and
Or book you or
yeah, however. Make sure you
Oh,
tell
me?
or both of you.
Both of us? Well, you have Mindy's information. Let's see.
Say
Well,
that.
but the people out there that might want to either buy your music or hire you, tell them.
You can reach me at my email is Johnny Stray Dog Sterling. It's a little bit no H, JONNY, Stray Dog Sterling at gmail.com. And Mindy is.
And if you want to buy some of my music, you go on to an HTTP, www.simplysterling.biz. And go to the link. Thank you, you guys.
got a lot of sterling going on here.
Yeah. That was awesome. Thank you so much for the gift.
Thank you, Johnny.
You bet. Thank you.
Both of you.
All right. Let's ties things up.
So join us on Zoom if you want to have a discussion about what you heard. Oh, wow. Greg, you're just amazing.
Look at there.
Thank you. So join us on Zoom right after the service. Greg is going to put the link up. However, if you don't get it, you can go to our website to get the link. And so go to the calendar and down to the place where it talks about the Sunday discussion, and the link's right there. You can just copy it right there. And also on our website, you can sign up to get email. And if you sign up on our email, then we'll send you out all the information every week so that you have the links and the things that you need and the title.
And we also do prayer there.
Yes,
So
we
if
do.
you want prayer, just sign that up and it's on the website and we'll pray all week on it.
Yes, we will.
Because prayer works.
Yes, it does.
And we would be honored to pray with you.
That's right.
So
You Benedict.
I'm going to benedict us out of here. So once again, close your eyes, recognizing that power and presence of love, of eternal love, right where each and every one of us is. I know we take that love and move in through the world. And every opportunity, every person we meet, every person we think of is embraced with that love and expands and grows beyond our wildest imagination.
Mm-hmm.
And this world is healed because of who and what we are, collectively and individually.
Mm-hmm.
So I bless each individual, knowing the highest and best for you, knowing that you continue to grow and expand into your greater yet to be,
Yes.
which is always, always in front of you.
Yes.
And so with a deep heart of gratitude, I now release this by letting go and letting it be. And so it is.
And so it is. Ashe and amen.
Have a great week.
Yeah.
See you
Hopefully
next
we'll
Sunday.
see you next Sunday. And remember, you can have a conversation with all of us on Zoom afterwards. So we invite you to do that.
See ya.
All right. Peace and blessings.
Yes.